Mr. President, Mr. Secretary General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to speak at this summit as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the United Nations Global Compact, founded by former United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan to promote shared values and principles in order to give a human face to the global market. As the whole world has been under siege following the rapid proliferation of COVID-19, my message to you is very simple. It's a call for all of us to join forces and help our world recover better, recover stronger, and recover together. The survival of humankind has been challenged by the series of pandemics during the last millennium. Given the devastating effects of the current crisis, what we need for humanity to survive is global solidarity and cooperation. Business as usual will not work. In order to overcome the death, economic plight, and damage to the social fabric of our societies, we must work together to achieve resilience. Out of the ashes of the COVID-19 pandemic, let us first have the courage to recover as a better world. The map to get there already exists. Is the 2030 Agenda. May the Sustainable Development Goals be our guiding star to create a more just and prosperous world for all. This is the time to take a leap into a better future by truly embracing the principles of the Global Compact. Let us listen to the science and build partnerships across policy and industry, finance and technology to put the world on track for a 1.5 degrees Celsius compliant future. We must stand up for human rights for all, in particular for women and girls, as a basis for long-lasting peace and silence the guns everywhere. In many countries throughout the world, we have witnessed substantial increases of gender-based violence. This tragic phenomenon is unacceptable. I urge all of us to work together to ensure that women and girls are protected and that perpetrators to violence are brought to justice. Labor rights must be respected for the benefits of all peoples across developed and especially developing countries, so that globalization spreads fairly and responsibly. And we must eliminate the scourge of corruption to dismantle the hegemony of special interest over common good and restore trust in public and private institutions. May these challenging times also teach us the wisdom to recover stronger. The COVID-19 pandemic has shone a light on the most egregious gaps in our world between the haves and the have-nots. We must now address existing inequalities within and across countries to create more resilient economies and equitable societies. Let us use the fight against the pandemic to fast-track change. Let us show international solidarity and provide the debt relief necessary for investment to go towards those countries that need it the most, especially in Africa. Let us renew our commitment towards universal health coverage, while also investing in early warning systems to prevent future crises and preserve development gains. We must build democratic societies which respect civil rights, where entrepreneurship can bloom and that encourage open dialogue. Now more than ever, all of us must come together with a clear message of zero tolerance against racism, sexism, xenophobia, and other forms of discrimination. Finally, we must commit to recovering together. This global pandemic has underscored the critical importance of multilateral institutions. Now is the time for cooperation, not competition. Let us take this opportunity to have honest conversations, look at the future, and establish a new world order of genuine solidarity. We should all be proud, as I am, of the leadership of my fellow Ethiopian, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, who has navigated the helm of the World Health Organization through this most challenging of times. I subscribe to the UN Global Compact's call to solidarity and action, and call on all of you to join this movement to make our response to COVID-19 a common public good. we must also protect our international trade system, which is an essential foundation for the global economy. Our response to the coronavirus pandemic has demonstrated the integral role global supply chains play, not only on our economies, but also on our livelihoods. In the political sphere, we must now have the courage to have frank dialogue, agree to shared interests, imagine new solutions, and rediscover the principles that bind us as members of one family, the United Nations. I know that this will not be an easy task. To recover better, stronger, and together, we need leaders who can step up to the challenge. The good news is that during this pandemic, we have witnessed the rise of new generation of changemakers. Health workers, first responders, school teachers, scientists, human rights defenders, peacekeepers, principled business people, activists, and political leaders. I know that many of you are joining us today for this Leaders Summit, and I urge you to continue working for a better tomorrow. When we work together, we can overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. We can protect our children and our planet from the devastation of climate change. We can break down barriers and erect an African continental free trade area to boost intra-African trade, job creation, access to foreign exchange, industrial development, and economic growth. We can shatter the glass ceilings and see women rise for all. We can build a better tomorrow where we leave no one behind. Let us heed the call for all of us to join forces and help our world recover better, recover stronger, and recover together. I wish you all a successful